India, the world's second most populous country, prices neglected infrastructure, red tape, layoffs, downsizing, the pulling back of investors from emerging markets and the consumer price inflation, India's economy now stands in disarray. No one can save you except three gurus. The learning threesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Cyrus Broacha, Kumaar Bagrodia, and Kunal Vijaykar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the learning threesome.
I just want to interrupt the program for a second to say, who asked us and Mabu to come here?
But the man is in vogue right now. I thought we were gurus.
Let's just explain this whole thing. This is all Kumar's fault. He's the only one here with a degree. And because of the recession, he can't afford proper gurus. We misunderstood the concept. He's actually dressed up as a sadhu who comes on to young ladies.
But I thought we were supposed to be gurus of sorts.
Yeah,
so
but
I thought a guru comes to
you don't have to actually do that. You look like an idiot.
So shall I take it off?
No, don't take anything off. You look better with that on.
You think so? Okay. But Cyrus, what are you wearing?
I thought I was going to get an award.
What are you wearing with this ill-fitting suit? You know, I mean, you're trying to blend in with all these learned people out there.
So this was given to me by Falguni Pathak. I don't know if you know her, the Navratri specialist. It's what she wears on Sunday. I think it's apt, isn't it? Fits in. Most people are in suits at the moment. So I think, I'm okay, right? But what do you dress like your MTV roadies?
Who said that, Kumar, you're a boring guy and, you know, you need to loosen up? Okay,
I think we've started on the wrong foot with everybody here. The whole idea is we're going to reach you through different mediums, and obviously I'm the only one wearing an ill-fitting suit. He's dressed up like an MTV wannabe, and
look at me. I'm doing better off.
I just lost his job. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, people, I'm sorry to bother you. This won't take very long, like I told my first wife. It'll end in about 15 minutes. And all I'm going to stop through the whole thing. So what we're going to do here is we've come up with an experiment of sorts. We met, unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, and we decided to come up with a new strategy to help deal with the times we live in. As you know, things are very poor, very bad. Money is a problem, jobs are scarce. And before we start, I'm going to just introduce everyone so everybody knows who we are. Let me introduce Kumar first. Kumar, please come forward 1 more inch if you don't mind. And every inch counts in your Kumar, trust me. Kumar, I studied your entire biography. It's fantastic. He went on a basketball scholarship to Oxford. And being a vegetarian man there for 4 years, you overcame tremendous odds. And amazingly for a Marwari, you left a 5,000 crore business to start a 1 crore business here. Use human resources. So maybe there's some Irani blood somewhere, I don't know, coming down the line in Jaipur somewhere, and it happened 400 years ago, the second battle of Panipat, who knows, went the wrong way. But yeah, so I'm actually quite surprised that he would do this, because I've grown up with, I live in Malpa Hill where the poor live, and I've grown up with Maru families all around me, and during tough times, you just get more cousins to work, that's the way you do it. So I'm surprised that he broke away from the family and he's doing something which is so unconventional, and actually he believes in humanity. If you hear him talk, he's like Moses without a beard. Okay, because, no, I'm serious, not that I've heard Moses, I'm not that old, that's him. But yeah, so it's amazing that he's got this vision and these ideas, so we got together, and for some reason, sexually starved Indian men, as you know if you read the papers, we've come up with the name, the Learned Threesome. We thought we'd give it a spin. It might help us in jail.
But Cyrus has been known only for his comedy for the longest time. I think what we are trying to embark upon over here is a little more serious, but with a lot of fun. And I thought it will be apt that I introduce Cyrus properly for those of you all who don't know what he's done beyond what he does. I mean, Cyrus and me have been very close for the longest time. I think we've been working together for at least 25 years now. We've been fairly intimate.
I have your semen sample, but it should be very good. Don't tell anybody.
But it's true. I mean, a lot of people thought that we were gay, But I have to tell you, he's straight completely. He's got a wife, 2 children. But today when I saw this suit, I'm trying to wonder whether you actually care or not,
Which is not a bad thing. In the recession, whatever makes you money, all right? We're not here to judge.
Having said that, Cyrus has been in the entertainment business for now, 40 years, Cyrus?
We already gone through Moses and let that be. Let's move on.
Yeah, I know. He's been in the entertainment for the longest time. Started acting on stage at the age of 14. Post college, much changed the face of radio completely.
It's now colored radio, thanks to our pioneering work.
No, but there's a reason why you were on radio. Because they couldn't take you on television. Your face couldn't be seen, Cyrus. But, having said that, if you hear the radio RJs today, the style they speak in is completely different from what Akashvani used to do 15 years ago. It was all, and the news today, and ladies and gentlemen. And this is the man who changed the face of it at that point of time. He also changed the face of television anchoring, because everybody on music television had a foreign accent in those days. And there was the first guy to come badly dressed, he still does. And then television, and that's a lot I've said about it.
Yeah, I know, you spent 10 minutes, you've got 15 minutes in the hall, so we have 5 minutes to save your careers. So
then let me talk about Kunal.
Somebody at least finally talking about me.
So, the biggest thing about Kunal, as I'm sure you will notice, is he's extremely athletic and fit. He works out. You run what, 10 miles every day?
Yeah. I've always
very
thought of
fit,
myself
very athletic.
mentally as an athlete.
Yeah.
Mentally athlete.
So it's all about believing. You believe you're an athlete.
Absolutely, yeah.
But on a serious note, he's been a creative director of an ad agency for 11 years.
Yeah.
Right? One of the leading advertising agencies.
this was in the 80s when kickbacks were fairly common. Now we don't hear of it anymore, such bad times.
And he and Cyrus have been hosting a show called The Week That Wasn't for over 7 years now on CNN IBN. And he has his own show called The Foodie on Times Now, which, looking at him, you would know is food. And now, we are trying to, dabble at different things.
Yeah, I thought this would be interesting, to meet. It's like,
Okay, let's not lie anymore. Basically, Diwali party night, cards, we lost a lot of money. We owe it. We have to do this for the next 3 years. I'm sorry about it. You're sorry about it. We'll just move on. Come on. What's up next? We've got lots of interesting things which we've planned. We thought we have no credibility. Let's face it. Kumar, is there something you want to say? Go ahead. We have no credibility, me and Kunal, quite frankly speaking. He's a fat man who likes food and gets paid for it. And I'm a moron who just keeps talking. Nobody really listens. Kumar's the only guy here, actually a credit analyst who gave up his job, family business to actually come here. So we're doing this all for you to feel good at the end of the day. And we put our heads together, and after years of planning, we came up with 7 ridiculous points, which I'd like to share with you. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is just still sitting here. This is a card from my ex-employer, the Punias. They closed down 2 years ago. Let's start with this point number 1. In order to assure the highest levels of quality work and productivity from employees, it will be our policy to keep all employees well trained through our program of special high-intensity training. I'll repeat, special high-intensity training, also known as SHIT. And we're trying to give employees more SHIT than anyone else. That's our first point. I think it'll come up gradually on our Doordarshan screen. There you are. Okay. Point number 2. If you feel that you do not receive your share of SHIT on the job, I'm sure there's many who feel that, please see your manager. You will be immediately placed at the top of the SHIT list. And our managers are especially skilled at seeing that you get all the SHIT that you can handle. Alright? So let me just run that by this lovely lady here. Do you get the first 2 points? Can you repeat them? I'm just a bully. So sorry. I've been married 12 years and my wife's an alpha. She's like Mayavati, but she's better looking. Mayavati. My wife won't tell me where to pay for that bridge. We live in South Bombay. She's still laughing. I should have married her. My wife hasn't laughed for 3 years.
Cyrus used to laugh like this before he got married.
She used to laugh like this when I was naked. All right.
The important point.
Yeah, there we go.
Employees who do not take their SHIT will be placed in departmental employee evaluation programs. I repeat, departmental employee evaluation programs, in short, deep shit. Those who fail to take deep shit seriously will have to go to employee attitude training. Employee attitude training. Eat shit. Since our managers took shit before they were promoted, they do not have to do shit anymore, as they are all full of shit already.
So, if you're full of SHIT, you may be interested in job training other people. We can add your name to our basic understanding lecture list, which is bullshit. Those who are full of bullshit will get the shit jobs and can apply for promotion to Director of Intensity Programming, DIP, SHIT, dipshit. If you have further questions, please direct them to our head of training, special high intensity training, or hot shit, HOTSHIT. And finally, thank you, your bosses in general, which is BIG, SHIT, big shit. Thank you.
When times are hard, all you can do is make silly jokes and fight the depression and the recession at the same time. We're trying to encourage that, right?
Yeah, but we worked a little bit hard on this. See, this is not, we are hoping that this is just a little beyond just pure entertainment, and it has some sort of relevance somewhere, So we worked out a certain amount of commandments. Like Moses had 10 commandments, as I mentioned Moses about 10 times already. We thought 10 commandments, corporate commandments, would be a good idea. What do you think, Kumar?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, I also would request you to write this down because this is not silly stuff that we're just going on.
Absolutely.
This is words of wisdom over, Deva, but I couldn't understand it. Really honestly, quite frankly. This is before the Kauravas, before the Mahabharata, before this is coming back. Primitive man himself, we have no idea. Maybe it was the Pariks, I'm not quite sure, but they came up with it. And what are they handing out right now? It's probably the same thing. Okay. So let's just go to the audience. We'll start with the first one. The first commandment says, if at first you don't succeed, destroy all evidence that you tried. Very important commandment. If at first you don't succeed, destroy all evidence that you tried. Sir, just to check that you're not SMSing your girlfriend, I'll just, can you repeat that? The first one. Oh, you know everything? Because I can't remember before that. No, this one. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You agree with that? We'll go back to her. What's her name? No, the one on the phone. The one you're pretending to talk to. Why? The one where you said my wife's home at 9:30. What does that mean? Destroy all evidence. Destroy. Don't you learn anything from 4,000 years of Indian civilization? Okay, work experience on your CV is something you don't get until after you need it. Work experience on your CV is something you don't get until after you need it. And third, for every action at work, there is an equal and opposite criticism. For every action at work, there's an equal and opposite criticism.
We've got, how many did you do? 3 commandments.
Yeah,
3 commandments. We've got, your next?
Yeah,
Oh, great.
Give me some airtime.
Go for it.
So, do you know how to keep your boss happy?
I don't have a boss, but if I did,
Yeah, what do you do? How do you keep your boss happy?
take his wife out for dinner.
And don't return her.
Well, that's one way. Somebody said work hard. But the secret is, if you want to keep your boss happy, you have to keep the boss's boss off your boss's back. Just work on that. Don't do anything else.
Very good point. Good point.
The next commandment. When you steal ideas from just one person, right? That's plagiarism. Don't do that. Instead, you steal from many, because then you're doing research. We always keep talking about saying, we need to keep up to speed with our work, meet our deadlines and all that. It's rubbish. You guys, rubbish. Just forget about what B school, taught me. Forget about it. The real commandment is, you need to fall behind your work really soon. Just fall behind. Because the sooner you fall behind, the more time you'll have to catch up. Right? Why do you want to learn more?
Well said.
Right? So, but I just have 3.
I've got the rest. Okay? So there are a few commandments left, and we promised you 10, and there are 10. When you drop your, sorry, I'll do this again. I can't read. When you drop your son to school, you are wasting office time. When you drop your boss's son to school, you're being productive. Okay, this is a great one. A doctor's statement will no longer be accepted as proof of sickness. If you're able to go to the doctor, you're able to come to work. And this is what I think every employee should make as a commandment. Okay? Each employee will receive 104 personal days a year. They're called Saturdays and Sundays. Great.
No,
So,
you just got 9. Where's the 10th one?
Yeah, because of the recession, we had to drop 1. So we're just doing 9. 9. Is that okay with everyone? 9 is fine. 9 is
Boss,
fine.
then you're saying that I'm the Marwari.
Okay. Okay, now we come to the meat of the matter where you actually get to do something and not just look at us. Kumar, you want to set this up?
Yeah, but we can't have Cyrus talking through this. Yeah? Please, can somebody please gag Cyrus? This is not on. He's just going to hog everything.
Well,
Cyrus,
why
you want to
can't she gag it? At least we'll have fun that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so dynamic.
Whoever, somebody has to gag him. Please come up. Please do the honors. Gag him up, please, and tie his hands as well.
Wow. Do we get a room? This is my kind of summit. I'm waking up now. Yeah. No, okay.
Are you shaved today?
Yeah, apparently. I feel like Manmohan Singh.
He's the only man who can talk through every tape.
Thank you. Now that Cyrus is under control, hopefully, we'll proceed to something meaty and to prove that the three of us can actually deliver something. So, we were thinking and we said, today in life you're selling every moment, right? You're selling yourself, to your boss, to a customer, to an investor, maybe to your girlfriend, to kids, or to your girlfriend's parents, if you actually want to marry her. But you're selling yourself. And anything you need in life, if you're selling, that means you need to advertise. So why don't we create quickly an advertisement for life, right? An ad about you for life. So all of you, I think, would by now have a sheet, right? Let's do that exercise. 4 simple questions. But before you answer those questions, let's do a sample one.
Before we'll do a sample one of these ads, just to make it familiar. But I want to say one thing. I spent a lot of time in advertising, and I spent a lot of time in advertising with the marketing people, with HR people, with all kinds of people. And I also attended a lot of training seminars. And our boss used to send us for one nearly every 3 months. And we sit there all the time, and these words, I can't even remember, but there used to be KRAs, and there used to be all kinds of things which I don't think anybody genuinely followed when they went back. It was just time pass. If the seminar or the training was held out of town, it was great, because then you had drinks and you had food, and wives were not allowed, so there were female employees and whatever else. But the only training session that I ever went to, which I felt really good about, was an advertising training where we did exactly this. We did not create ads for ourselves, but we created ads for products in those days. And it was based on lateral thinking and Edward de Bono and that kind of stuff. But when we 3 of us sat together and said, how can we sort of, do something that is interesting and is thought-provoking to the person doing it himself, I said, making an ad for yourself would be a great idea. That's what we came to the conclusion of. So there is a template.
Yeah, but no, we'll just shoot. So, what's your brand?
My brand.
Yeah. Kunal Vijaykar. Come on.
Brand Kunal Vijaykar is fat.
Okay. No, that's just stating the obvious. But what's your brand?
You have a brand name? What do
Yeah.
I call myself?
What do you stand for?
I stand for
Rome, decadent Rome, civilization that doesn't exist. People don't walk long, sit in my bed all day, eat inside the bedroom. He called me up from his house once and actually said, I've decided I live alone. Why do I eat in the hall? I might as well eat in the bedroom. Because there's nobody else in the house. So that's the kind of problems he had with 2611 going on in the background. I just want to
Might as well open. Yeah.
And so Rome, well, if you were thinking creativity, then Rome is a great imagery. If you wanted to make an ad film on me, I think you have to place the ad film somewhere, if not in a corporate office or if not on a table in Rome. Why not? So Rome's not a bad idea. In which case, what is my brand?
So then what's your...
UBA? Run there, Roman.
No, I think I'd like my brand to be foodie.
Okay.
Yeah?
So your brand's
That's
the
the show I
foodie.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
So you're doing a sales plug here. Boss, 300 people will not get you any TRPs. Even if all of them watch the foodie, what's the big deal?
But we get only 0 TRPs at the moment.
Oh, so it'll be 300% increase.
300% increase.
Wow.
No TRP.
Wow. So what's your tagline? If the foodie is your brand, what's your tagline?
I can make you happy.
Sounds like a cheap porn. I'm not going to buy this. I can make you happy. The MBAs, double MBAs, IIT grads, people who've lost business worth thousands of crores, who are back from scratch, and I can make you happy. What are you, little boy in Thailand?
But see, Cyrus, the thing is that I have pornographic feelings about
We don't want to know. Just sell yourself, and hopefully somebody, not in Sahar, but perhaps to a Charaka will get you to buy.
But I think, Cyrus, you're being unfair. I think this is a good line. I mean,
it's okay.
I can make you happy, okay?
Certainly. I mean, yeah, we don't want our wives
No,
to
but-
see that line, but you know.
No, but look at it with the name of the brand. You know, it's not Kohinoor I can make you happy. It's foodie I can make you happy. So it all goes together. What was the next?
So we don't say
Which basically is, that the way of a man's heart is through the stomach.
Pretty much.
So you want to get into all the men's hearts. I can make you happy. I mean, well, okay.
We've lost this brand. Let's just admit defeat. There's nowhere to go.
No. So, you know, before we open it up, so what is the promise of your product or service, you know, to this world?
Which is me, correct?
Yeah.
Which is,
So product, the foodie.
yeah.
Brand, the foodie. What is the promise to the world?
My promise to the world is, and I'm going to sound like a student, but that a few minutes. But is foodie. I come into your home every night on television. Yeah. I can make you happy.
Oh, come on.
There is warmth. There is love. There is joy.
It sounds like a massage. I don't get any food. I get this really devious male who's got strange feelings jumping up and down in my house, touching me in places I don't want to be touched.
But Cyrus is my selling point.
Okay. Whatever. I think the main point we're making is that everybody needs to sell themselves. It's your own perception of yourself, so fair enough. And this is what you think will make you happy.
So then the final thing for me. What are you worth?
What am I worth?
Yeah, I mean, no pricing.
Much less
What
after
are you
the show.
What are you worth?
Rupees?
No, not in.
In dollars.
No, let's not get into forex and all that.
Yeah, don't say the D word. Everybody's swimming there.
What am I worth? What am I worth? But we're putting a price to it. What
So, I mean, it's an ad, right?
yeah.
Got to be worth something.
This is exactly how I negotiate in
What
Thailand.
will I-
Just by the way. What do you want? What do you want? Exactly. And this goes up and down path.
I'm more than evening spent.
Evening spent with you.
Am I wrong?
I'm also single.
Suppose first you started to sell the foodie show. Now you're saying I'm
No,
single, by the way.
I
mean, you took selling yourself literally.
Anyway, we can't take this show to a school. That's for sure.
Yeah, totally. We'll have to change the gap.
I'm springboarding on my existing brand value.
Yeah.
And now getting into my personal space. As a
So
person.
now you're using all your advertising lingo with us.
Correct.
The springboarding. No,
I don't
footboarding.
know two words there.
You remember two words from Andy?
I know. Springboard and dovetail. These are the few two words I learned.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, on a serious note, let's spend the next 5 minutes. You've got 4 questions in front of you, right? Let's genuinely create an ad for life. And this ad, you know, once we are done, I want you to keep it with you. Look at it every day because that's the promise you're making to life, right? That you are a brand that stands for something, right? What is that brand, right? What is your USP? What's your differentiator?
And
What is your promise
Don't
to
mind
the
us because we're normally the kids and it's the teachers walking around because I feel great. Back stretch.
And however silly I
Don't touch yourself.
If there's any questions you want to ask, you're most welcome to ask.
So when you're talking about price, please don't say, you know, I deserve to be paid 1 crore. You know, we are not talking about price in terms of salary, right? So you deserve something else from life, right? More than just a paycheck or more than the profits or whatever it is. So let's answer these 4 questions. Ma'am, you don't have one?
Someone here is writing furious.
She's writing a complaint to the management.
His hand is shaking. There's not a word of it.
We need a sheet
He
here.
just wants to make you happy.
One sheet here. Everyone here? Ma'am, you're texting it to somebody? All these answers? It's on the phone.
She's googling it.
Oh, all right. What am I worth? So we're just going to move around and just have some fun at your expense.
We've got somebody over here. No, this is serious. No,
pressure.
Take your time, take your time. There's nothing important happening tonight. Just some companies waiting to be handed out awards, but nothing.
Kumar, shall we sort of peek over people's shoulders?
Yeah, I think, some companies really nice and friendly. Okay, let's have a lovely meeting.
Amit,
What's your
yeah,
branding?
it's quite nice, huh?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, lovely. And you go to the travel agency? Oh, lovely. Which
The way you said that, my gosh. Champagne based. By travel, you mean from Raymond Point to a lady, or that can be fun also. Especially doing research.
So, a word to all our sponsors, we get all these foreign bankers.
It's not killingly good, but it's better than I want to make
It's a
it.
nice one.
No, but just travel is good, it's like just do it. Just travel.
Kumar, we've got a nice one here. This is Amit from Infosys BPO.
Thanks, Kunal. So my brand name is Idea Factory. Great. Tagline is curiosity is essential for entrepreneurs.
Wow, that's heavy, that's deep.
What's my key USP? Learning that helps you learn. And what are my words? Intangible component which is strength for life. If you buy my brand, if you buy me, buy my services, you become friends.
Fantastic.
It's quite impressive.
This is really impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Big hand for it. Big hand.
Yeah, impressive. Better than mine, huh?
All of that friends for life is better to suffocating for people. Otherwise, you get
No, but
Depends on who's the friend, right? Depends on who's the friend.
very often we don't know how we want to project ourselves in front of our own employers, and he actually crystallized it on a piece of paper, saying that this is what I like. You know that. It's great.
And if it was a Miss India, I showed you the one.
I have a great candidate here. Epitome of education, learning, and knowledge. Professor Krishnamurthy, CEO of IIT Bombay Monash Research Academy, was on the podium just before us.
JJ School of Arts, what's the difference?
There's somebody in admission at some point in time.
I keep watch that.
So, sir, what's your brand name?
More.
As in M-O-R-E, more? Like Gimme More? Oh, okay.
But yeah, that defines a lot.
Okay.
Tagline is work more, play more, run more.
And what's your key sort of USP, your promise?
Execution focus, linking strategy to detail, never fear failure.
Nice. And what do you work?
Happiness is really hard to learn.
What does IT provide? I mean, you get to 7. Question.
Great. Thank you. Thanks a lot. A big round of applause, please. We can't, read everyone's, because we'll be lynched before we even exit the room, But I think this brings us to an important point. But, I wanted to say that, this ad was just really a small piece, I think. But if you do this seriously, actually a lot of research went into it, Kunal stayed up, he woke up very early that morning, to work on it. Cyrus had to work out this.
I took 2 classes just to understand what you were talking about in the first meeting.
And Cyrus skipped an entire gym workout, just to work on this. So we worked very, very hard. But there's a lot of research and.
Look, what I'm saying is that, look, what is the idea? The idea is that you guys, we have a lot of training workshops in a year that we do or attend. If we can sort of, bring something to the table, which is a certain amount of training, motivational stuff, you know, the three of us together.
Kunal, I've told you that, boss. No
hard
blatant, no sales pitch and hard selling. I mean, come on. So we can't,
We don't charge.
we can't openly tell them that, we are launching this training product. We can't openly say on this platform that, we are going to be doing
Don't do
corporate
that.
workshops.
Don't mention
We
corporate
can't do all
workshops.
that. No. We can't say that this is just the teaser.
Look at the options that we have, half day, full day, the full week,
That we have full day,
one-to-one,
half
20,
day,
50 people.
all of that stuff,
Yeah.
senior management.
Foreign people will come in because that always works with us.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, we call
We can't do a
monitor.
blatant sales pitch, I told you earlier, right? So we can't keep saying that, hello guys, we're going to be doing motivational workshops, we're going to be doing team building, we've got this amazing half-day session on innovation. Please,
Where clothes
don't say
are
all
optional, so, please attend as much as you can.
And all the workshops are going to be held only in Bangkok.
There you
Nowhere
go.
else.
Okay, but I think before we wind up, I think at the end of the day, I think we've achieved something here. Because if a few people can make something out of this whole effort and feel happy, that's good enough for us. And today, 3 have, because we're getting paid. So 3 of us have got something out of it. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. And please a big hand for Kumaar, who will be with all of us. So if you have any problems, you can talk to him directly after the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gentleman. A big round of applause. Very entertaining. Cyrus Broacha and Kunal Vijaykar.
We got a small memento we give to everyone. I know both of you don't do that at all, but since everyone
But we must have one with you also, yeah? You're part of the team, man.
was cutting, I didn't get my memento made.
It's not quite the US Open, but thanks.